Summer's right around the corner and you might be looking for some new games to play, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a list of 10 games that are either free or cheap that will maybe help you improve your FPS skill, or maybe they're just worth knowing exist. So let's go ahead and get on with this list here. The first on our list of free games is Area 51, which was a title actually released in 2005 for PC, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. It wasn't a super large blockbuster, but it had some big actors, and the United States Air Force purchased rights to the game to release it for free on PC. It has a pretty good campaign mode, story mode, single player mode, which I recommend you check out if you're into sci-fi alien stuff. I've played it multiple times and I've always enjoyed myself. Multiplayer, it's not so populated anymore, but people still play it every night. It's got an interesting dual wielding aspect. I'm not going to go into it, but it creates a little bit of decision making when you're holding two guns that you got to go through at times, which is cool for me as an FPS player. But you also have the ability to transform into a mutant where you can do heavy melee damage, see people in the dark, things like that. So definitely check out Area 51 if you haven't. Second on our list is also a game that was originally at a price but is now free. It's called Global Agenda. It's a MMO/FPS type game, but the MMO aspect of it really isn't too large in my eyes, so don't let that turn you away. It's based in the future. It's got 4 classes to play, so it's a class-based game, and it has many PvP modes where you have small squad combat all the way up to large full team agency battles where you fight for map control and things like that. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm interested to get there and try it out. It's not the most exhilarating game for me. I don't know. But it's worth checking out. It gets old kind of quick, at least in my eyes. But I've only been playing some of the smaller PvP type stuff. Also, it's good to note that your inventory and currency transfers on all of your characters. It's like you have one account, and then your characters are just part of that account. So be careful before buying anything. As a free player, you're going to have trouble getting hands on enough money to buy whatever you want. So really take some time deciding on what you want to buy before making any purchases. If you buy the game, if you upgrade your account, you will earn items automatically after each game, and it makes things a whole lot easier. But play it for free for a while to figure out if you're going to want to keep playing it. Third on the list is Battlefield Heroes, which has a unique third-person ability class-based combat system. There are 3 classes, Commando, Soldier, Gunner, and each of those have their own abilities, and you have to decide how to build your characters as you go along. Whether you're playing on your own or with a partner or with a team, that dramatically changes how you want to manipulate your points, and it's a great game to learn that, and also to learn third point of view combat. There are also vehicles like tanks, airplanes, and jeeps. It's a rather simple Battlefield game. Great game to learn the basics of Battlefield. So I highly recommend you check this game out. And one thing I'll warn you about is that you can only have 4 accounts for free, 4 characters per account for free, and there are 2 teams, the Royals and the Nationals. So and at the beginning of creating your character, you have to choose one of those teams, and you will always play on that team with that character. So if you've got friends who play, make sure and talk to them, find out what team they're on, whether you want to be on their team or not. Make up your mind. Fourth on the list is Quake Live, which out of all the games in this video, this is the one to help improve your execution and teach you map control. It's not going to be easy starting out when you start playing. It's a rather simple game to comprehend and understand the basics. Yes, there are different weapons here. This is how they spawn. Just go pick them up. But as far as being able to execute that and play well, it's very demanding. So watch some tournament videos. Don't give up. I highly recommend you play this if you want to up your aiming. Fifth, we have Urban Terror, which is a low-spec game, so if you've got a low-quality computer, definitely check this one out and see if you can run it, because it may not look pretty, but it will teach you about character customization, just squad-based combat, all the basics you'll need for most FPS games. It's also got some cool abilities, like you can jump off walls and do power slides, things like that. So it's a good game worth checking out. Even if you have a good computer, I'd say check it out. Sixth, we have Battlefield Play for Free, which really is nothing extraordinary. If you've been playing Battlefield since the beginning, then really you should probably just avoid this one. It's got maps from Battlefield 2 with theories and weapons and ideas from other Battlefields like Bad Company, like you have tracer darts, things like that. And it's a pretty low, I don't know the exact specs, but it's lower spec than the newer Battlefield games. So if your computer can't handle all the new stuff, this might be one to check out in case you're planning on upgrading in the future and playing those games then. Other than that though, veterans of Battlefield probably won't like it too much. From here on out will be pay-for-only games, and the 7th game on my list is Monday Night Combat, which is available on PC and Xbox 360 Arcade. I recommend getting on PC if you can, because it will have a few more features than the Xbox version. This is a third-person shooter slash Defense of the Ancient slash team-oriented, class-based, money management pile of awesomeness. Really, I love this game. Monday Night Combat is fantastic. Make sure and at least get the demo. Get a free trial. Go to uberant.com, go to their forums, get a free key from somebody if you need to play for a month. Basically, each team has bots that spawn, and these bots follow a specific path to the enemy base, and both teams are having this happen at the same time. Both teams can set up turrets to defend that, and both teams can purchase character upgrades, use map-specific ejectors, things like that. All kinds of different things that will try and push your bots to the enemy's main base to destroy it, take down their money ball for you to win. So it's a constant fight for bot control, player killing, money management. I just highly recommend you play this, and sorry, in the video you're going to see some low-resolution gameplay. It looks a lot prettier than what I'm showing you. I should also note that early on you might not enjoy it so much, but as you go and as you learn the game, how it's played, you're going to come to enjoy it more and more. With every person I've shown this game to, in the beginning they're all kind of hesitant and they don't really know what's going on, but as we explain to them, say, well, this does this, this does this, this is something else you can do, they just start loving it more and more. So make sure and put some time into this before deciding whether you want to keep going or not. 8th on the list is a game Monday Night Combat is constantly compared to, and for good reason. That is Team Fortress 2. Many classes to play. Each class has definite advantages and disadvantages. You must work as a team. It has a lot of good game modes. It looks clean. It's just got a lot of charm. I love this game. You should definitely check it out. And really, it's got probably one of the best, if not the best, FPS in-game communities that I have ever played in the past 5 years. So if you have not checked out Team Fortress 2, I really recommend you play it. 9th on the list is, in my opinion, the best Battlefield game to date if you're talking its ability to be liked by anybody. It's got a fast pace. You're not fighting for 5 widespread flags on a large map. Instead, you're fighting each map segment by segment, and you can spawn on your squad mates. The action's always occurring. Of course, there's a good amount of vehicles to use. The maps are destructible, so the environments are changing. Buildings will be destroyed. You got some nice settings. I highly recommend you play this game. Yes, there are only 4 classes, but all 4 of them are fun. All 4 of them are easy to use. All 4 of them are useful. Definitely check this game out if you haven't. And finally, we have Battlefield 2142. This was a game released in 2006, and it probably didn't get as much play as it should have because 1942 fans, like myself at the time, we were turned away from it because it was similar to Battlefield 2. It had the same playstyle, same engine. Battlefield 2 players, many of them felt it was just an overpriced expansion pack. Nonetheless, though, if you like either of those games, I think you're going to really enjoy trying out 2142. It's obviously a future-based game. There's a heavy emphasis on vehicles. Really, the setting isn't something you commonly find in online FPS games anymore. The most unique feature of this game is Titan mode, which both teams have this large giant airship in the sky that they can hop on and control and move, and basically both teams want to destroy the enemy's Titan, and the first set of the battle is players are doing the classic conquest mode where they're trying to control these flags on the ground, which are silos, missile silos, trying to control those, because when you have control of the missile silo, it takes away the enemy Titan's shield. Once the enemy's shields are down, you can continue fighting the ground conquest battle to slowly chip damage away with those missiles, or you can drive right up to the Titan with a helicopter or this launching APC, which will launch you in a pod straight up into the sky, right, and land you right on top of the thing. And you can do an infantry assault on the inside to destroy enemy consoles and the shield, all within its core. So it's a very cool system that really isn't found in any other game that I really know of, that's popular at least. So if you really like Battlefield like I do, definitely give this one a try. I will warn you newer players out there, if you are not into the older, slower pace of Battlefield games, then you might be kind of turned away from this. This one, you move slow, it's a little clunky, but just the general concept of Battlefield's there, so that will be enjoyable. Also, it does have like upgrade systems. This was like a transition Battlefield game from the old to the new system model that you're familiar with today. So getting player upgrades, things like that, it's gonna take a lot longer than you may be used to. Also, it does have a somewhat high learning curve just because these are all new futuristic vehicles and weapons and things, so do some research online if you ever get lost. Other than that, though, it's a pretty fun game. If you can stand all that, I recommend you play this. So that is my list of 10 games to try out this summer. Maybe you haven't heard of them, maybe you have. Some are just good to know exist. Some are just some games I enjoy myself. Some will teach you some valuable FPS skills. So if you have any questions on any of these games to help improve your skill or whatever, feel free to head over to goatfo.com and ask me on my weekly show, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you and try and help you become a better player. Have a good summer.